Caesar dressing is one of those recipes that most people don't make at home, but they should, because it's so easy and it's 1,000 times better than anything you can get at the grocery store. So yes, Stephen agrees. So meet me in my kitchen, Chef Jyll's shop. I'm gonna show you how to make the perfect Caesar salad. There are two things I will never allow in my house prepackaged. One, Alfredo sauce. Gross. Two, Caesar dressing. Caesar dressing in a bottle, it's convenient. Let me tell you, the flavors and how easy this comes together and how delicious these flavors are and how they come together. It's bold and it's bright and it's creamy and it's all my favorite things. So we're gonna get started right off the bat. We gotta make some croutons. I love some fresh croutons. So I'm gonna take about a half a loaf here of some fat farm bread here. You can use Italian bread, you can use French bread loaf, whatever you have. But I do want you to get one that's not sliced, because when it's sliced, it's too thin. I want like big buttery chunks of bread. So this is how we're gonna do it. Now, for my knife right now, you know how much I love my chef's knife, but I do find a serrated knife to be one of the most essential knives you have to have. It's for anything like this. It's for anything that's hard on the outside and soft on the inside, like bread, because it's not tearing it up. If I were using just a chef's knife, it would be tearing it up. I got this one. This is a Shun. I got this one, 15 years ago, and it still just slides through things like butter. So I love it. Shun knives, fantastic brand. One of my favorites. The very first chef's knife I ever got in my life was a Shun. So I'm cutting these into big cubes, right? We want big croutons. Look, you're not making a Caesar salad to be healthy. Let's start there. We're gonna douse this with butter. We're gonna make a super unhealthy dressing. It's okay. This is my kind of salad because it's got the building blocks of life. It's got gluten, it's got dairy, it's got Worcestershire, it's got garlic, all my faves. So now I got these big croutons here. Got some melted, unsalted butter, right? Like we've talked about a million times. 100% of the time, all the time, please use unsalted butter because you don't let anyone else season your food. I go pretty big on this. I do a half a loaf of bread and then I do like a half a cup of butter. I love a toasty, crunchy, buttery crouton. So I'm gonna give that, what do I wanna use? This is fine. I'm gonna give that a good little toss around, but it's unsalted because we're gonna salt this ourselves. Come back, man overboard. And I have a sheet pan here ready to go. Now you could do this in a saute pan if you want to and get them nice and crispy, but let's just put them in the oven, let them do their thing. Just make sure they all have a decent amount of butter on them. And now I'm gonna go ahead and grab a sheet pan here. You don't have to line it with foil. I just do because it just makes my life easier when I'm cleaning, but you do you. I'm gonna get these in a single layer. They're all super buttery. They're kind of drenched. If you feel you need a little more, if you got some dry ones, you can drizzle it with a little olive oil or a little more butter. And now let's go ahead and hit them with a little of our kosher salt. Now, you always see me season my food with my fingers, not to look bougie, but because I like to be nice and up high for an even salt distribution. Let's go ahead and season those up. Now, the sky's the limit here. If you wanted to add in some garlic powder, some Italian seasoning, some Parmesan, you can do all those things. For me, we're keeping it classic. All right, throwing them in a 375-degree oven, like 8 to 10 minutes. I'll probably check them after 6 or 7 minutes, give them a little stir, see how I feel about them. Done with the serrated. All right, dressing time. So everyone, please, a Caesar dressing. Do not come at me with a watery Caesar salad. If I think Caesar, I want crisp romaine and I want creamy, bright, bold flavor. So here's how I make mine. Now, traditional Caesar dressing uses anchovies and raw eggs. I am using anchovies. I'm not using the raw eggs. I don't think you'll miss them. So don't come for me in the comments that this isn't traditional. Like this is my favorite Caesar dressing, how I make it all the time. So I'm gonna take a cup of mayonnaise. I like to get the good mayonnaise. Don't go for the cheap mayonnaise. Get the good creamy mayonnaise. What am I using? I've got the good old Hellmann's Classic right here. So I'm gonna do about a cup. It looks about right. I eyeball things. This is why I'm not a pastry chef. So about a cup of mayo. Now, let's get some good flavor going on in here. I have some Dijon mustard. Always give it that little shake. Do you hate when that water comes out? Steven, do you hate that when I hate that. It's always on a hot dog bun and like it's, not my thing. Am I going to avoid it? Oh, I did that thing. Or I didn't take this off. I bought a brand new one for you all.
You're special.
You're so special. I didn't want to use the one that's half gone and like crusted at the top that was in my fridge. I wanted to look good for YouTube. Is that a crime? I didn't do my hair, but I did get a new Dijon here. So again, give it a little shake. I'm gonna try not to get the water, but sometimes you do. I didn't. A good squirt, like a good teaspoon. We can always add more later, but about a teaspoon or so. Next, okay, Worcestershire sauce. Oh, even if you can't pronounce it, you need to have it in your fridge at all times. It has got that umami flavor that is deep and rich and amazing, and it adds that depth of flavor, especially to something so creamy. This is creamy. We need to brighten this up. So we're going to get that Worcestershire, about 2 teaspoons in here. I'm actually going to switch that out. I'll put it in my bowl over here and switch to a whisk. All right, so now let's get some juice in here. We got to lighten, brighten, get this nice and fresh. So I'm going to go ahead, use half of a lemon. I'm going to keep the other half. You can always use more. Grab my tongs and just juice of about a half of a lemon. Like I said, I want bright flavors. If the seed falls in life, it is what it is. Just tell people they win the prize if they find the seed. Okay, so I'm not using traditional anchovies in here. I am going to use an anchovy paste. See that? You find it right by the canned tuna and the canned salmon. I know this seems like a weird thing to have in your fridge. Trust this face right here.
Hold it up one more time. I messed up.
Anchovy paste.
Yeah.
Your new best friend. So good. It adds such a beautiful, deep, salty umami flavor to dressings and marinades and sauces. Just squirt a little in some of your pasta sauce. No one will ever know. People think they hate anchovies. They're wrong. But if you really think they will, they won't even know. But go ahead and do a good squirt of anchovy paste in here. I know, it looks appealing. Steven, have you ever had anchovy paste? Today's the day. He doesn't like seafood, but you wouldn't even know. I know, it's not attractive yet. Just trust. Couple more things, more bold flavors, bright bold flavors that you're missing when you get it in a bottle or a jar. 2 cloves of garlic. Now, these cloves are big. If you have some smaller cloves, measure this with your heart. If you like garlic, go ahead and get some garlic in there. I'm gonna do 2 huge cloves. So I'm gonna go ahead and smash it down. And when you smash it, you're flattening it and it makes it so much easier to chop. And then the skin comes right off. Now, you can absolutely put all of this in a blender or a food processor and make it happen in there as well. I'm just one of those people that really likes to do things by hand. I'm gonna take the little knob off the end here. Get rid of that. And now what we always talk about, you can go to my knife skills video that Steven will probably be popping up right now, a little ding, ding, something fun and fancy to knife skills to show you how to properly hold a knife, but I'm gonna grab it, keep my finger off the top. Right now, all I wanna do is rock it forward. All we wanna do is break this up. We're not mincing this yet. Just break it up. Just like that. And now you got it pretty broken up. I love that. Maybe we can run our knife through, maybe just gently one more time. Keep your fingers out of the way, please. All right, now smush it all up into a pile. Put your knife in the middle of the board. Just smush it and rock it back and forth. Now we want this nicely minced, okay? We don't want a huge chunk of garlic to hit the palate. We want this nice and minced. So I'm just gonna keep smashing it together. See how the tip of my knife is never coming off the board? Smash it up, we're almost there. Raw garlic to me, essential. And anytime I've had any kind of bottled Caesar dressing, this is the part that's missing. The raw bite of the garlic with that lemon. It's my favorite thing. Honestly, I'm not faking this enthusiasm. This is how much I love that raw bite. It puts me in the best mood. So that's why I use two huge cloves. If you're not like the biggest garlic lover, use 1 clove, but do not omit it. You can't not have it in a Caesar dressing. All right. Beautiful, beautiful. 2 big cloves, look at all that. I'm here for it, going in. Got 2 more ingredients. Maybe 3 if you count salt and pepper. But first, let's do a peek in on our croutons. Maybe we have to do a little toss. All right, they're sizzling, but they're not brown yet. Let's see if they're even crusty. Not yet, let's keep them rolling. Get brown. All right, so next, Parmesan. You all know that Parmesan is my favorite cheese on the planet. We've talked about this. It is the perfect cheese. Sweet, salty, nutty, earthy, all wonderful things. Now you can absolutely get some pre-grated Parmesan and go ahead and throw it in. I like it grated, not shredded. I don't want the big shreds. I want really finely grated. If you want to take this up a notch, we're going to go ahead and grate ourselves because that way it doesn't have that kind of white substance on it that keeps it from sticking together. And it just adds a beautiful, just beautiful richness. It's my favorite thing. So I'm going to do about a 1/4 cup. Look at that. Oh, so good. I'm just using a little microplane here, one of my favorite tools in the kitchen. All right, we're gonna start here. If we need to add more, we'll add more. But look at this, just make it snow. Get it all in there. Now, for a Caesar, we've gotta add a decent amount of pepper. So I'm gonna go ahead and grab, I have a pepper grinder I like to use, but if you just have regular pepper, that's fine. Let's just get it in. But I definitely want, like I'm not even gonna look, I just need a ton of pepper in here. I'm not gonna add salt just yet. And the reason I'm not adding salt is because Parmesan is salty, Worcestershire sauce is salty, anchovy paste is salty. So let's just pause for a minute on the salt. Okay, let's whisk. Did I forget anything? I didn't, that's everything. Perfect Caesar dressing. Now, give it a whisk and really combine it. The anchovy has disappeared. Stephen is no longer frightened. Woohoo! All right. Gotta taste it. See what it needs. As always, what does it need? Now, what I love about this dressing is you can make it 2 or 3 days ahead of time. So if you're entertaining or you need something to dip your veggies in throughout the week or serve with some, I'm sorry, I love dipping shrimp in this. I'm that person. Shrimp cocktail, love a Caesar with it. But anything you need it for, just make it a couple days ahead of time. You can eat it all week. What does it need? It's so good. Needs a smidge of salt. Ooh, that garlic is hitting me, and I am here for it, honey. A little bit of salt. Maybe a smidge more lemon, because it's really rich, and I think that's it. Just a little bit. A little bit. That's enough. Look at this little bit of garlic right here that I missed. I'm not wasting that. That was 4 little pieces. There we go. Whisk it again, and then we got to try it again. Keep trying it until you absolutely love it. I don't want you eating anything that you don't love. Try it again. Oh my gosh, I love it. It's so good. Setting that to the side. Now, setting this to the side, we're still gonna use this. Not letting this go to waste. But first, let's chop up some romaine. Now, everybody does Caesar different. You can do the big chunks, you can do the small chunks. All I do is cut it in half. I do like getting fresh romaine heads like this and not the pre-chopped romaine. Whatever makes your life easier, but this literally takes 10 seconds. All right, so now I'm gonna go ahead, see how I got the big piece here? Sometimes people will just serve it like this, like a wedge. They'll do the drizzle. For me, I'm all about the chop. Chop it one more time, and I just do about 1/2-inch pieces. I make a mess, it's fine. Caesar salad.
What about grilled romaine? Is that weird?
Okay, so I'm gonna tell you, people get weird about grilled romaine, but I worked in a restaurant that did grilled romaine, and it was one of the most popular salads.
Is there anything today that I ate that wasn't microwaved?
It's not my fave. I like salads that are very cold and crisp. I get why people do it. This is no diss on any restaurants or chefs who like to do a grilled romaine salad. It's not my fave, but it's a big seller. People like it. Have you had it, Stephen? No? It's fine. It's just, it takes a little bit of that, chill off it, and it adds a nice kind of charred flavor. I just don't need it. So that's how I feel about it. Good question, though. Stephen's getting less shy as these videos go on. He barely said a word in our first 10 videos. Now he just needs to be the star. Steal all my thunder. I'm over you. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead. I'm almost done here. We'll wait for our croutons to get crispy, and then I'll show you my final thing that I do to make this amazing. I'm gonna check on our croutons again. Sometimes they cook fast, sometimes they cook slow, depending on what kind of bread. Just keep checking on them and use your nose. You're gonna know. Burn bread, you smell it pretty quick, so. All right, so now let's take a look here. They're starting to get light. Look at that buttery, like lightly crispy edges right there. Love that. I'm gonna give them a little toss though, just to make sure they're getting crispy and all. They feel crunchy, but I want more of a toast on them than that. I love it. Why is the smell of buttered bread best thing on the planet? So simple, so delish. All right, finally, my last step here. You can go ahead and when you toss this, you can go ahead and add the croutons on top, but for me, take a flat vegetable peeler, one of the Y vegetable peelers that I love. We've talked about this, the Y vegetable peeler. It's nice and wide. And all you're gonna do is take a moment and just shave some cheese. And we're gonna garnish it with big chunks of shaved cheese. And this is why I warned you that this is not a salad where I went to the gym and now I need a salad because I'm healthy. It's the exact opposite, but it's so good. Now, a lot of people love to top their Caesars in all different ways. What's your favorite? Do you put like a protein on yours or anything?
Chicken.
You're a chicken person. I'm a shrimp person. A good piece of salmon over the top. Always delightful. All right, so I'm going to put those to the side. Done, done, done. Right when the croutons get pulled out and they're done, I will toss this all together, get it plated up, toss it with some croutons over the top, and show you what this all looks like when it all comes together. It's so simple. It's so easy. I'll be right back. My croutons have come off. Look at how beautiful and golden they are and crunchy. Here. That's what we're looking for. Nice. I know. That was my dramatic. Can you make that more dramatic with some sound effects or something? You'd be like, okay, thank you. All right, so I got my romaine chopped up. This is not a salad you want to make ahead of time. Toss it right before you need it. Do not toss it and leave it in your fridge for an hour. And I'm going to get some dressing in here. Now it's thick, so watch out now. I'll be scraping that later when y'all aren't looking. I'm going to give this a good toss around. Now the best way to toss this is put your tongs in the middle and just gently swirl. And then bring it up and gently swirl. I worked a lot of salad stations in my career, and it's all about getting it in the middle and swirling from the middle and being very careful to not break up that lettuce. Now, the good part about romaine is that it is sturdy. It's not gonna wilt on you and get crazy. Okay, so now I'm gonna go ahead, get it in a pretty little bowl. It's thick, it's creamy, it's all the things I want in a Caesar. Like I said, do not give me a watery Caesar. Just like that. Now let's go ahead and hit it. Actually, I'll do croutons first. Buttery croutons, they smell amazing, even though it's just butter and bread. Good stuff. Get those over the top. And then of course, look at this. That is a perfect salad for me. Have you ever seen me eat like a greens salad with tons of veggies? Ever?
So.
No, you haven't. This is more my jam. So I'm gonna have Steven, as always, come over. I'm gonna hit you. A little more pep. All right, because when Steven's happy, you're all happy. You heard it here. That's what happens. All right, get her done, my friend.
All right.
All right, the perfect Caesar dressing. I asked him while we were waiting for the croutons if what his favorite dressing was, and he said ranch. So,
Well, it's not that it's my favorite. It's just the most convenient.
and that one's decent to have in a bottle form. I'm not mad about a ranch.
I'm making a mess. All right.
That's okay. You make a mess. And then I'll talk for a minute because you got a huge mouthful. And I'm going to zoom in again on those croutons. So delicious. So easy. That's good, right? Lemon, garlic, it comes hitting you. You're not even scared of the anchovy.
No.
And by the way, everybody out there, if you're scared of the anchovy paste, just double the amount of Worcestershire.
Dude,
Okay?
that's really good.
I'm so glad you like it. All right, so go make this for someone you love. They'll never leave you because it's delicious. And don't forget to share this and subscribe. Hit the little subscribe button right there. Leave me a comment. Let me know if you made this. Let me know how amazing it is. And I will see you back here at Chef Jyll's Shop next time.